Well, good morning. So I've heard from a lot of you, and I have, as you may have noticed from the information that you get when you pull me up, that I have like 8.7 million viewers. And I've been gone for a while because I've been working on some pleadings and some cases because I'm still practicing law even at my advanced age. And what's that supposed to mean? I look it. I'm going to stop having a studio audience if this keeps up. This is just outrageous. So, I'm listening to the radio the other day in my car. It's what I did. And I have this satellite radio so I can get CNN and MSNBC and Fox and all of the places where I get my misinformation. And some woman was talking about the British royalty and are they so relevant? What do they need to do to get with the modern times and so on? And then she said, and of course they have a problem because so many of the people who have been historically under British rule were called subjects. And that has caused a lot of emotional pain and suffering. And I'm like, yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, look at your own situation. You can't get a date. You've been fired 3 times from the same job in the last week. You have 33 kids and you have no way of feeding them. You're being thrown out of your basement apartment where you're living with your parents and your in-laws who can't stand each other, and frankly, they don't like you very much either. So, and your hair's falling out. Put it in perspective, folks. How would you like to live in one of those places where they refer to you historically as subjects? Now that's pain and suffering. For you to worry about these other trivial matters. Oh, and the biggest one of all that causes concern to my friends is, how are you going to get a drink after 2 o'clock when the bars are closed? Yeah, okay. Those are trivial concerns. How would you like to live in a country where you at one time were referred to as subjects? So wait a minute, you do, if you live in the United States of America. So think of that horrible emotional pain and suffering. Yeah, and I'm of Irish descent, as you may have known from my name of this podcast, Irish Magnifico. That's moi. The Irish have been called British subjects forever. In Northern Ireland, they still are. So imagine the horrifying pain to wake up every morning knowing that hundreds of years ago your ancestors were referred to as subjects. Now that's pain. So I know I may be waxing a little sarcastic here. And incidentally, if you're wondering about all the light on me, that's because my blinds are partially closed. And I thought it would be a neat effect, kind of like a Halloweenish type thing, making you look like a ghost. So, I always wondered exactly what the term woke means. There's an example of it right there. Woke. Getting horribly emotionally upset, or thinking other people do, over some trivial matter, which, compared to not being able to get a drink after 2 in the morning, hello, let's put things in perspective. That's what we're talking about with this woke stuff. That's an extreme example. But this one was dead serious. Oh, and it's just terrible. These people were, their ancestors were referred to as subjects. What? Get a life. Find a way to keep those bars open at least a little bit after 2, okay? I'd really appreciate it. People I know would really appreciate it. What? Yes, this is the end of this thing. Look, Santos, can't you find something else to do with your time? I appreciate your coming here, but not every day. Okay? And what the hell is that costume you're wearing now? You're an Indian now? An Indian chief? Oh, excuse me, an Indian chief. All right, George, nice to have you here. Don't want to upset you. At one point in time, your ancestors were British subjects. Take that.